Hello, my name is Nawaish, and welcome back to Illustrator Plays Minecraft. As you just saw, I made myself a super simple chicken farm. I don't really have a need for feathers, but if I ever need some, I could just come down here. And back here, we have the chickens. I only have 6 in there, but it's not like I need a bunch of feathers, so I think this will do for now. And here's the redstone stuff that I only vaguely understand. I just followed a tutorial. Your descendants are doing good work down there. So, continuing on from the last episode, we're gonna keep working on this backyard. I want to do some sort of workshop here. We also dug up this lava pool last episode. I'm hoping to use it as some sort of imaginary power source for the workshop. Alright, so I made myself a notebook and wrote down some of the stuff that I want in this workshop. The feathers from the farm already came in handy for the book and quill. So it'll be pretty straightforward. I want a smallish auto smelter, some cauldrons that fill with lava from dripstone, and the usual stuff like an anvil and smithing table. For aesthetics, there can be some sort of piping and pumping system to move the lava around. There should be a chimney of some sort, and if we need more room, we can always dig into the cliff wall here. So let's take those ideas and go draw some concepts. But before we do that, I've been meaning to change the stair here to a minecart, so we can actually sit down at this desk. So it'll be like this, get rid of the rail, and then we push a slab into the minecart with a piston. Ooh, it looks pretty good. I phase through the slab. Is it gonna bother me? It's gonna bother me. Let's fix it. There we go, that looks a lot better. Now let's actually do some drawing. At first, I was having a pretty hard time figuring out what I really wanted to do. So I ended up doodling some general shapes of workshops and forges. To try to get my brain going, I drew the area around my base using a screenshot, and started to think about what the cliffs and pillars might look like in the future. I'm thinking it might be really cool if there's like a big pillar and it's been shattered in half. And that's when I finally got the idea that maybe the cliff wall cracked open and revealed the lava pool inside. And then whoever came across it decided to dig down to the lava level, patch the crack up with brick, and then use the lava inside to fuel their forge and smelter. Alright, that seems like a good starting point. I want to take a better look at the terrain first, before we do any more drawing. So I carved out a bit of space, and I want to get down to the level of the lava, or at least 1 or 2 blocks above it, without falling in. I'm totally gonna fall in at some point. The stairs will start around here, without getting too close to the house. I still want to be able to walk through here. Stairs like this, and the forge can be around here. I think this seems like a good footprint, so let me go grab that sketchbook, and we can finalize some ideas. So here's the forge, right next to the lava pool. I think it would be interesting if there's some sort of stone basin behind it, with a pump that can bring in lava so you can control the heat of the forge. The doorway can lead to a smelter room that can be inside the cliff. And we have an anvil, a quenching bucket, maybe a table and a spot for tools on the wall. I did forget to draw in a grindstone, but that can also be here too. Inside the lava pool, there are some pipes that'll connect to the smelter, which is on the other side of the wall. And here's the view of the outside. Really simple, just a roof and a chunky chimney. I think the smelter room will need some sort of ventilation, so there's a fan and a vent in the cliff wall. And here it is from the inside of the lava cave, with a better view of the basin behind the forge. I think this will also be a good spot for the lava cauldrons with the dripstone. They could be on some sort of platform off to the side. I also drew this simple floor plan just to show where the smelter will go. Alright, I guess there's gonna be a lot more work on the terrain than I thought there was gonna be. Especially this lava lake, we're gonna have to get a lot of buckets to fill this out. We're gonna flatten out this area some more, so we can have a clean slate. Okay, it's flattened. Now there's enough room to really plan this place out. I really wish this lava pool was a tiny bit bigger, or at least pushed over by a few blocks to the right. That would save so much time. Okay, so let's put down the forge placement. It can go here. And the chimney is a bit chunky, and it can go up the corner of this cliff. And behind the forge is gonna be this basin of lava. We can have it stick out like this. And the platform for the lava cauldrons will come out this way. And we're gonna need to dig out all the way back here, so we can have more room for the lava. And let's cover up this lava so I don't fall in. Lava drips? Nope, yep, there it is. Let's go up and try to find where this is. Oh. Okay, wow, that was a close one. It's a pretty decently sized pool. I wonder if there's something I can do with it. I thought about maybe bucketing up the lava and then bringing it down, but that seems not fun. What if we do some sort of lava waterfall? Lava fall. That might be interesting. Okay, let's take a step back and visualize this a little bit. So the forge is here, and then we have the little lava pump that goes into the lava basin. The pipes going into the wall, fueling the smelter. And the lava fall can come down here from this corner. Alright, we have a lot of work to do here. I'll start with changing out the stone. I'm thinking some darker colors like deep slate and tough. Ooh, I don't have a lot of cobbled deep slate. And I don't have a lot of tough either. Yes, I gotta go resource gathering. Oh. Excuse me? Alright, we're all stocked up. Let's start placing blocks. So this is what I have right now. We have a placeholder for the lava fall, and here are where the pipes will go. I added some stone bricks to the wall here to suggest that there were maybe some holes that were patched up later. And to add to the caviness of it all, I'm gonna add some dripstone. Having more movement is always nice with the lava drips. The lava cauldrons will go around here, though I still need to figure out how big this platform is gonna be. We can also start changing out the stone from this rim to match the rest of the cave. Just gotta do it really carefully. Whoop. Whoop. And up here, you really won't see much of it when you're down below, but I might as well make it a bit prettier. My pick is yet again about to die. Okay, I don't have the levels. That's not good. Guess we're taking an enchantment break. Oh, I nudged the minecart. I think there's a trick where you can use snow layers for it to stop moving around, but it's fine. I can also get efficiency 4 if I just enchant the pickaxe. Should I risk it? I might get silk touch on it, maybe? Or I could just take the safe route and just repair the pickaxe normally. I'll just repair it for now. This is probably a good time to talk about this. I'm not sure how much interest there will be, but I'm thinking of doing some sort of Q&A video. It could be like a bonus, extra, in-between kind of episode where I'm answering questions while I'm doing something else in the game. It might not be the next episode, but if you have any questions you want to ask me, feel free to leave it in the comments below. Alright, pick fixed. Let's get back to work. I think I'll start working on the crack in the wall. So I'm using stone brick walls and sprinkling in some solid blocks, just so that there's a bit of dimension to it. Like anything else, it probably needs a bit more work, but I'll come back to it later. Now for this basin of lava, I'm just gonna use stone stuff again. I'm holding off on using any of the mossy stuff here, because I feel like with the lava being right here, it'll be too hot and dry for moss to really thrive. And the forge will be made out of tough bricks, just so that it's a bit different with all the rest of the stone. We can mix in some polished ones too. And at the end of the basin, inside of the forge, we can have some magma blocks. And we can have it lit on fire. Fire! Alright, looks good for now. I want to add more color, and I'm thinking nether brick? Wow, you don't get much from a stack of netherrack. I want to use it here where the pipes go into the wall. Right now it's looking a bit samey with the stone walls and the tuff. And on the other side of the wall here, it's gonna be the smelter, so maybe it can be nether bricky over there too. I'm also gonna lean into the copper colors for this place. I think the oxidized copper will go really good with the orange of the lava. So this pipe will be all copper with some trapdoors. And then I struggled a bit with the second pipe. First I tried andesite, then I tried lightning rods. But they don't really work in this context. Maybe I can use it somewhere else. I tinkered around with the walls while I thought about it, until I decided on packed mud and granite. Another thing I want to do is to add some lava behind the trap doors here. It kinda signifies that these pipes are full of lava. I'm imagining this pipe to be that oxidized teal turquoisey color. I know most people like oxidizing the copper first before you build with it, but I figured it'll just slowly change as I'm building the rest of the space. In the drawing, there's also a wall vent-like thing here. So let's use some copper grates. Alright, it's time to release the lava! Just slowly release the lava. Very slowly. It's really coming together. But of course there's still some parts that I want to fix. So that's what I did, and this is what it's looking like now. I added some campfires for that smoky effect. And along the edge of the upper lava, I changed it to slabs so you can see the lava from down here too. And the oxidization is very slowly happening. As always, there's some things that bother me, like this dark spot right here, so I'll continue to change it as I spot them. Alright, the next step is the platform for the lava dripstone. So we're gonna need to make some cauldrons. And this might be a bad time to mention it, but my iron supply is very low. I only have this much, but I guess I should smelt some of this. That's not a lot, but hopefully it'll be enough for what I need right now. So I'm gonna scoop up as much lava as I can from one spot. Then fill it up with stone like this. And then dump the lava into the rest of the pool. This is gonna take a while. So much iron, so many buckets. Alright, the platform's done. And we filled up the lava to around this much. We need 5 cauldrons. Ooh, that's the rest of the iron. But at least I can start collecting the lava faster. To finish off the rest of this cave area, I want to add that lava pump thing for the basin. I want to make it functional so we can use a dispenser. From what I understand, the face spits out whatever's inside, right? Ooh, I should put up a safety wall just in case. That would have been a disaster. Alright, so like I was saying, the water spits out of the face. Yes. That seems simple enough. So when it's like this, the hole is up here, which means the face is looking down, I think. So we have the water in and we push this. Oh no. Oh geez. Oh, I'm so lucky that I had a wall here. Okay, so I clearly don't know how this works. Let's just stick a room in here so I can safely research this. Learning super basic redstone with Nawa. Woo! Okay, so water comes out of the hole. Water also comes out of the face. Okay. And if something's blocking the hole, the bucket dispenses instead of the liquid. With the hole facing down, the water comes out of the hole downwards. I am so sorry. This must be painful to watch. Okay, I think I figured out what was confusing me so much. So the face sometimes becomes a hole, but only sometimes? Depending on how it's placed, I'm assuming? I always assumed that there was always a face, and then there was always a hole behind the face. But I guess not. Well, I mean, I guess it makes sense. Let's go make that pump thing. So with that new knowledge, I made the pump. But the lava wouldn't flow like I wanted it to. I'm hoping for the lava to fill the entire basin, but it was always stopping a few blocks short. I tried different designs, and also tried breaking blocks, but there was always something wrong with it. The one time I got it to work, I didn't like the design of the pump. And then this happened. I accidentally placed down the lava and then walked straight into it. But good news though, I figured out a design that I like. I decided to have the basin already full of lava, so you can control how hot the forge gets by adding more lava or taking it away. I also put in a campfire so there's a tiny bit of smoke, though it's a bit too much at the moment. So let's put a trapdoor over it. Yep, that looks good. Just tiny poofs of smoke. I still need to fill this whole thing with lava sources, but that can wait. For this pump design, I actually want a copper bulb here. So when you turn the pump on, the light also turns on. To make copper bulbs, you need blaze rods, which I do not have. And I guess we do need a lot of lava. So it's time to go to the Nether. Look, look! The feathers are coming in handy again. I can finally make myself some arrows. Thank you, chickens! Oh, so many arrows. Alright, let's get going. When I first came into the Nether, I did see a fortress. It was embedded in the wall somewhere in this crimson forest. Excuse me, sorry, I gotta get through. It was down below somewhere around here. Maybe it was further this way. Whoa, okay. Well, I found it. That was easy. Oh, and the spawner's right there. Whoop. Well, that wasn't really an adventure. Let's go home. Ah, okay, I'm leaving. Goodbye. For the lava, let's go somewhere else. I don't really have plans for this Nether yet, but I don't really want to mess up the lava around the portal, just in case. A bloop, a bloop, 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 bloop. Alright, let's start filling in the lava. And the copper bulb. With the lava all filled in and the cave done, it was time to start working on the building. It's nearly all done. Let's take a look. So here it is. I'm really pleased with how it turned out. I made a gutter system here for when it rains and the water would come down these stairs. We have all the stuff we need, like the anvils, the smithing table. This is kind of like a pegboard for tools, and we have some storage up here. The copper on the pipe is still oxidizing. I seriously didn't think it would take this long. The forge and the chimney are a bit more beefy now. So I imagine hammering out a sword here or something, and then it's like, oh no, we need more heat. Boop! And then the lava comes out, and then the forge gets hotter. And now we can keep on working! Okay, that's enough role-playing. I really like how moody it gets at nighttime. I decided to stick to only using candles and not lanterns. Though I haven't checked on the light levels yet, so I'm not sure how spawnable this place is. Hopefully it's okay. The outside isn't changed too much yet. One thing I want to do is to change the chimney height. Down here at ground level, it's visually the same height as the chimney on the house, which isn't great. The shape of the wall crack should change too. I don't really like where it's at right now. And we should start thinking about the terrain. So let's start off with fixing the crack. I added in some stairs and slabs, and pushed back some of the blocks, so there's a bit more dimension now. I brought up the chimney by a few blocks, added a campfire for the smoke, and went on to the terrain. I somehow thought it was a good idea to wing it, but it looked pretty bad. The balance was completely off. So I tore it all down and decided to sketch out a plan. This is what I came up with. I wanted to have almost like steps or tiered platforms going up the cliffside. And there can be some sort of boulder and rocks at the base of it, right next to the workshop. And then I started placing blocks. Okay, we sped through that. I'm sure you're all very bored of watching me make cliffs. But now we have a nice canvas for adding a fan and the vent. The vent goes here, and the fan will go around here. I think I have to fix this overhang here. Maybe even bring it up a few blocks so it's not in the way of the fan. So for the fan, I'm excited. I'm sure many of you have seen those buildstone videos where people are animating their builds using redstone. And even though my understanding of redstone is not the best, I want an animated fan. I want to give it a try. I want a cool looking fan. So here it is before any of the redstone. And it turns out that you can reach the back of the fan through my day one hole in the wall. So that's handy. A certain someone would probably say that this is going to be quite simple, but we'll see. Alright, I think I have everything in place. So if I put a block in one of these hoppers... Ooh, it's working! That is so cool! And yes, it was actually pretty simple. Well, I guess it was only really simple because I was copying it block for block from a world download. Okay, so how loud is it down here? Yep, that seems about right. It's pretty loud. Okay, for my basic understanding of how this works, I can stop the fans by powering this hopper. Okay, yeah, it stopped. Ooh, and the trapdoors stay in their fan shape. That's nice. Because it's so loud, I don't think it's really feasible to keep it on all the time. But I'm thinking maybe I can make it so that the fan turns on only when the auto smelter is also on. Ooh, and maybe it can also be connected to the chimney smoke. So when the smelter's on, the chimney smoke and the fans are going. That would be pretty cool, right? Alright, so we're pretty much just waiting for the copper to oxidize now. This pipe is taking forever. I now understand why people oxidize their blocks first. Well, while we wait, I guess we can keep ourselves busy. Like in here, it is a mess. And let's start digging out the space for the smelter. The pipes are on the other side of this wall, so the idea is that it's going to be pumping in lava into the smelter. In our imaginations, of course. I'll probably just have a small bamboo farm or something to actually fuel the smelter. I know you can make a smelter that's fueled by lava, but that seems a bit advanced for me. And we can have some sort of ventilation thing for the heat coming out of the smelter. It could be like a huge pipe that connects the smelter to the fan. So that'll be fun to design. I'm gonna have to get a lot more iron for all the hoppers. I need to start considering making an iron farm, but that's a whole other thing with the villagers and stuff like that. I will eventually make one though. Still not oxidized? Still not oxidized. To pass more time, I decided to do some little things here and there. I made a boulder beside the workshop, added in some decoration, and collected lava. I went down again to my enchanting setup just to see what that efficiency 4 pickaxe would have gotten me. It took 2 tries, but I did get silk touch on it, but it doesn't have unbreaking. Things were still not oxidized, so I put down some copper blocks, spaced apart to oxidize faster, and decided to AFK. We have a bit of an emergency. I free-cammed out just to check on the copper, and I came back to this. It's making such a mess. That's not even the worst part. My chickens are loose. Oh, I'm so glad that I caught this. Come on, guys. Get rid of this dirt block. Now, where's the 4th one? There you are. Come on. Safe and sound. I'm gonna have to get rid of that guy. I feel kind of bad. They're just shielding themselves from the rain. And dancing. Sorry. Sorry. I should get that data pack that turns off Enderman griefing. Well, that was stressful, but I'm happy to say that the copper has finally oxidized. And this is what the fan looks like now. To end off this episode, let's do one last drawing. We didn't really do a proper one showing the complete workshop, so I took some time and drew this. It was hard to find a good angle to show the inside and the outside in one drawing, but I think it turned out okay. Oh boy, I'm gonna keep finding Enderman holes for a while. So that'll be it for me today. I used a lot of help for the redstone stuff in this episode, so I'll be sure to include all the video links of the things I used in the description box below. And don't forget that if you have any questions for that Q&A video, you can leave it in the comments. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you soon. Bye!